Welcome to the Scholars Chair. In every Black community, regardless of economic resources, there are shining examples of young Black men who achieve in school, regardless of immeasurable social disadvantage. Breaking the Barriers is a research paper that provides a fresh perspective and in-depth analysis of the cognitive factors that are associated with high achievement among African American males. To discuss this research, we have invited the Dean of the Howard University School of Education, Dr. Leslie Fenwick. Along with her is the author of the research paper, Dr. Ivory A. Toldson. Tonight on the Scholars Chair at Focus, Breaking Barriers, Academic Success and African American Males. So, why is the research plotting the path of success for African American males so important?
You know, I think Dr. Tolson's research is not only important but unique. He has conducted a study and has findings that stand in opposition to this litany of pathology that we're exposed to not only in the research literature but also in the media about African American male student achievement. The lens, the conceptual lens that he used to analyze these data about 5,800 school-aged African American males really points us in a different direction, not only for K-12 schools but in the world of policy. And it should reaffirm African American parents as they seek to do the right thing in terms of the academic and social progress of their children.
Yes, I see. I see. So, Dr. Toldson, why highlight academic success for African American males?
Well, right now, African American males have been featured in the media in a very negative way, and that the way that they've been portrayed has given us all the impression that there's hope lost in the Black community. And so what I wanted to do was to put something out there that showed people that there was hope, that all we needed to do was to create the right environment, the right situation for Black males, and they could achieve. There's a lot of research out there that compares all Black males to all white males or to other ethnic groups. And a lot of that research is designed in such a way that it highlights the problem.
Right.
And one of the problems with people only being exposed to the problem is that they don't really know any solutions. We also have a lot of these negative statistics are trickling down to teachers and to popular media and even to the young Black kids themselves. We talk a lot about risk factors, and so you have young Black males saying, I'm at risk, not even really knowing what that is. And so the main reason why I wrote it is because I wanted something positive to be out there so that people would know what to do, not just what the problem was.
I see. So how is your research different from all the other research that you've seen out there?
Okay, there's a couple of ways.
Okay.
One, it focuses on within group comparisons. So instead of between group comparisons like Black males to white males, it looks at all Black males, and it compares high-achieving Black males to middle-achieving Black males to low-achieving Black males. And the reason why I structured it that way is because I didn't want to operate under the implicit assumption that Black males need to be more like white males in order to resolve some of the problems. I know that Black males who do succeed, there are certain resilience factors that they have to have in order to navigate possibly a more difficult environment. Like one Black kid who I knew on the West Coast, he actually had to change the color of his shoelaces when he walked through different communities.
Really?
Because of the gang violence that was out there. So these are the types of things that we need to tap into and understand, how are you doing, and just like you said in your introduction, with these immeasurable social difficulties, how do you still do it? And so I wanted to capture a little bit of that in the study.
Yeah.
And going back, yes, go ahead.
We know the hallmark, to extend what Dr. Toldson said, we know the hallmark of science is replication, replication of what works. But too much of the dialogue and the research and the media is about what's not working.
That's right.
You can't evolve strategies for success from what's not working.
Right.
And when we talk about science, we want to focus on what's working and how we replicate that. Otherwise, our compass isn't calibrated north. It's not calibrated towards success. And those messages that Dr. Toldson talks about are deeply and negatively influential on our children and their families and the teachers and institutions that encounter our young men and boys.
Right. And so it sounds like what I hear you saying is that you're looking at this population of African American males. You're looking at lower achievers, you're looking at middle achievers, you're looking at the higher achievers.
Right.
And you're trying to figure out how we can move the low achievers up, the middle
Right.
achievers up,
Yeah.
but using the model of the higher achievers within the black male population. Is that right?
Exactly.
So what method did you use for your research? How did you do this?
What I did was I took 4 national surveys, and these are surveys that anybody could get access to. The problem is that not enough African Americans are using that data in a way that looks at things that we needed to look at. And so I used 4 national surveys. Among them was health behaviors in school-aged children, the National Crime Victimization Survey, School Crime Supplement, National Survey of Drug Use and Health. And so all the different data sets that I used had an index of academic functioning. Some of them use the self-report of grades. Some of them use a parent measure where they talked about their school engagement. So I took all these data sets and I used different statistical analyses with them, like multiple regression and different things like that.
And then you were able to kind of tease out the low, medium, high achiever in each one of these groups.
Yeah.
And then what were you able to learn from looking at each study? What did they help you understand?
And if someone were to download the report, what they would see is a lot of trajectory model graphs. And I think you're going to show some later.
That's right.
But the way the graphs are structured, you'll see at the bottom x-axis, you'll see low achievers, middle achievers, and high achievers. It's actually on 4 scales. And then on that y-axis would be some kind of external measure. So one of those external measures, for instance, is quality of life, how good a person feels about their life. And so some of these external measures had a positive association with academic success among black males.
Right.
Some of them had the opposite, had a negative association with academic success.
Right.
But it was a good way for us to see the linear relationship that exists between things like positive communication with your parents and academic success, and all of them weren't so obvious,
Right.
Like,
and actually, let me say this. So, I just want to make sure that I understand what you're really saying here. You have actually, in some ways, unlocked the code that distinguishes whether a young black man is going to be a failure or a success in life. And maybe the code may be more complex than some things that you found, but you actually have identified elements of the code.
Yeah.
So could you please go through a few of those elements, those factors that if we put them in place, we can transform the condition of our young black men.
And I smile because I like the way that you phrase that, unlocking the code. And I think in many ways, what people will find when they look at the report, it starts off with an executive summary that has about 50 bullet points that looks at those different associations. If they were to go deeper, they would be able to see the graphs and different things like that. And so what you find if you take all of these pieces in isolations is kind of scattered pieces of the puzzle. So one piece, for instance, is the relationship between nutrition and academic success. Young black males who report that they eat more vegetables are doing better in school.
Vegetables.
Vegetables, yeah.